Hi, everyone. So, want to apologize. We were having some technical difficulties between the wind blowing everything around us. Pretty beautiful day, but very strong wind, to the iPad turning itself upside down. So we started before, and I'm going to start again. For to some of you that have heard some of it, you will hear it again. I just thought I would do it not sideways. So again, this is Dr. Mira from Rosemira Organics. We're doing our Facebook Live. I did tell you that I don't use makeup. I think that's an important point to know because it speaks to my skincare products working. I don't need a foundation. I am almost 61. And I think I can attribute my skin to my skincare products. I don't sleep enough. I don't drink enough water. I don't do a lot of the things that we really should do for our skin. I mean, I do sometimes or often. But what I have been the most consistent about over the years is using my face cream. We just started making since I was 19. So there's been a serious consistency there. And I think that really is very important and speaks to me to the value of moisturizers specifically. So so about makeup. So I wanted to say that each time I will use maybe a different color from my colors that I've been playing on for other people. I do love lipstick, and today I'm using the Hot Red. And Jody put on some of the Purple Rain over my eyes, Purple Rain shadow, which was a tribute to Prince in the name. Hopefully I'm allowed to use that name. So that's it for makeup. Today I want to talk to you about the history of Rosemira. It's a long history. I started when I was 19, I'm almost 61. So it's a long history. It will take me many Facebook Live sessions to speak about it, but I will start with history. There's probably going to be anecdotes along the way and so on, and we'll see where it takes us. I'm definitely doing it intuitively and spontaneously. So we usually work from our pain point. What we do, at least passionately in our lives, is guided by our pain and pain points. And for me, it was actually not skin. I never really had serious skin issues. I had asthma as a child, and asthma is attributed in holistic medicine to adrenals and to thyroid issues, and thyroid is associated with dry skin usually. But when you have difficulty breathing, dry skin doesn't seem to be really that important. Breathing took the first stage. So that's what I dealt with into my teens and even later. Another thing I had developed as a teenager is kidney infection, which again is related to adrenal. In Chinese medicine, it's a little different. And kidneys and lungs are really related very deeply in Chinese medicine. So there was definitely correlation. And I used a lot of antibiotics as a kid, as a teenager, which I wasn't really happy about by the time I got to Northern California and was introduced to herbs. I tried to veer away from antibiotics, but that is really what led me to herbs to begin with, is those two issues, asthma and kidney infections. And I have to say that after using herbs for about a year, the kidney infections kind of disappeared almost completely for the next 40 years. So the herbs were very helpful. I was introduced to Rosemary Gladstar, who's a brilliant herbalist. And I worked with her in a store for about 3 or 4 months in order to be able to pay for herb school. And I joined herb school, which is where I learned most of my original knowledge in Western herbs. Rosemary gathered around her. It was the California School of Herbal Studies. It was the second session. It just began. And Rosemary gathered around her some of the most amazing herbalists of our times. It was Herb Menzies, Herbal Ed, which started the Herb Farm. It was Michael Tierra, who started Planetary Formulations, I think, and an acupuncture school. Rob Menzies was there, Hajia, Jeannie Rose. I mean, just amazing people and amazing knowledge. Rosemary was also, besides being an amazing formulator, she was also a woman's woman. She was into doing things for her hair and using masks and henna. Those were my years of henna. So where I would mix them with some yeast and honey and eggs and whatever you want and put them on my hair. Nice formula. So those are the days. And Rosemary made cream. And that was my first dabbling into making creams. I was also making tinctures and whatnot. But cream, so cream was just one of the things I made. You could open my pantry cabinet and all you would see was bags of herbs and bottles and jars with herbs and alcohol in them and so on. And I made different salt from herbs and better butter from Laurel's Kitchen and so on. So that was my pantry. And the cream was just one of the things I made. And again, since skin was not a priority, I made it because the thyroid did lead to dry skin, and so I always had dry shins and arms, and so I just would use it all over my body and loved doing that and loved it. There was this, okay, so the cream developed. It wasn't just Rosemary's formula. My friend Diana at the time was also messing around with cream, and so there was kind of combination of formulas until I developed the cream. The formula has changed over the years, I do have to say. It's been 40 years and there's been a lot of knowledge since. So I've replaced the coconut oil, which is very cloying and not great for face. I think I would use it anywhere from my neck down. So I replaced that. I replaced almond oil for a while because that has a short shelf life. And the scents I used, while lovely, it was a vanilla and a lemon, I had two creams, were synthetic made. We didn't know anything about organic in those days. I don't think that word even existed in our lexicon. And using, I didn't use preservatives, so the cream had to be refrigerated. It would last about 6 months. And the synthetic scent was also something I was not aware of. So it took years before I realized that those need to be changed, and the rest is history. The formulas has changed again over the years, but basically it's really the same base formula from 40 years ago, I would say. I'd make them in big jars, mason jars, and just put it in the refrigerator, and they would last about 6 months, and then I would make another batch. And I wasn't allowed to visit my mother without bringing some of those creams. Wasn't welcome. And my mother wasn't into creams either, but they were really lovely. It was a lovely cream. So that was the beginning of that, my first product, which I believe is one of my better products. The moisturizing cream is a very difficult category for organic as well as non-organic products. It just, if you're using preservatives and additives and perfumes and so on, it can be very drying and won't absorb very well. So then you add things to make it absorb very well, and you just end up with a formula that's not really great for your skin. When you're doing it naturally, you're running into the issues of balance between oil and water. You need to add emulsifiers, or you need to find a very, very delicate balance between them, which is complicated. And then you still want it to be absorbed. So it's a very delicate situation, and I think it's one of the difficult categories in skincare. It's one of the reasons a lot of us go into oils for face. I believe oils are very potent and very important to use in skincare. I don't think they should replace moisturizing creams at all. And I know in some cases people do replace them, and they should be an adjunct. They should be the juice. They should be the treatment. While I think really moisturizing creams are the base of your regimen. But they're a difficult category. So that's about creams. I think, I'm not sure how far I am into this. See?
9 minutes.
Yeah.
Almost done.
So that's how my first cream started. And I didn't really make a lot of other products for the next 20 or 30 years. I became a chiropractor and an acupuncturist because, as I said, my pain point was internal medicine. It was breathing, and it was, then I was into back pain because I had some car accidents. So that was where I focused, and that was where I lived, and that was what was important to me. And skin, I just kept making my creams. And over the years, other issues came around where I continued developing my line, but that is for another episode. I'm not going to answer a deep question today because I wanted to just talk about the history more. I will answer one really simple and basic question, which I'm asked a lot, and are these products safe? And I'm usually asked that first and foremost by women who are pregnant and breastfeeding. And I think that's the perfect time to ask that question. And I want to say that, yes, the reason I'm making these products, the reason I've developed the line to the extent I have, is to have products that are healthy. As healthy is what you put into your body, is what you put on your skin. And I believe that, and then there's another issue, which is essential oils. I use a lot of essential oils. Essential oils can have, since they're very potent and powerful, when you're taking them internally, they can certainly have an effect on pregnancy. And in some instances, whether your first trimester or second trimester, some oils are recommended not to be used. But when you're putting it on your skin, they're diluted into a product, and it's such a small concentration. There really isn't much to be, there's no reason to be concerned. And since there's no other ingredients, no toxic ingredients, no preservatives, no perfumes, nothing allergenic in these products, they're safe for pregnancy, they're safe for breastfeeding, they're safe for babies. Baby skin directly. This time I would use more than others on baby skin, like my Rich Moisturizing Cleanser Night Cream is perfect for babies. But they're safe. And so I wanted to reiterate that because that is a question I get quite a bit. So I think this is good for today. I will see you again next time. Please remember that the time that shows sometimes, depending on how we set it up, is 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, but we're really filming at 3. Today was a little later because of unforeseen circumstances, but 3 p.m. and we go for about 10 minutes. So please remember to join in, watch afterwards if you don't get to join us in live, and send questions so I have something to answer. Okay, and thank you, and goodbye for now.